everyone.
Hello. Good afternoon to some people.
That's true. It's earlier in the day in other parts of the country.
Right.
Yes. I forget these things. My brain is not connecting the dots today, so I apologize.
We will help each other connect dots.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to Wednesday's Cooking with Kat and Steph. We are the Dysphagia Duo. We are going to talk about carbohydrates today. We're going to make Gazpacho, which is a cold vegetable soup because it's warm outside.
It's very warm. And we're not even in the south, and it is 98 degrees right now.
So we're getting a taste of what the southern states, like I said, a taste. We don't even come close to what they had to deal with.
No, this is like today.
Yeah. Today and I think tomorrow. So we're getting a taste. So we thought we were going to do tomato soup originally. And I went, maybe we should do something cold because people kind of need options when it comes to food. Temperature of food changes.
Right. And some people don't like to heat up their kitchen cooking.
Yeah. So
when it's that hot out.
So we did have to heat up a little bit beforehand. But we're also going to do a protein carbohydrate shake that's called, the recipe I found was strawberry fluff. I'm adapting it because I have a peach. And so we're going to do peach fluff.
And it's peach season.
So first of all, announcement. In the fall, we have not decided on a date yet. Mm-hmm. We are going to move doing our live video from on our business page into our dysphagia nutrition support group. Help me with the name.
Dysphagia support for nutrition and swallowing.
See, together, this is why we are the duo. We work better together.
We do. So, if you are interested in continuing to follow us after this fall or beginning this fall, we will be switching to the group page.
So join our group.
Join the group.
Yeah, it's easy. Go in. We got a couple of questions. Join the group.
Can we put a link on our page?
We can put the link. We'll put the link here later tonight.
Yeah, so we'll link it from our duo page, and we can, like, can you put it so that it's always at the top? There's a way to do that.
Yes, we can. We can pin it, I believe is what
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yes. We are non-techie people.
Yep. So if you're joining us, please say hello. Tell us where you're watching from. Please ask questions. And I'm going to jump right into carbs. Do you want to jump right into cutting up these tomatoes?
Yes.
So we're going to make gazpacho, which is a tomato veggie soup. So we have the large bowl for the blanchette.
We do.
So carbs are made by plants. They are our main source of energy for our body through our diet. They're made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So in my profession, anytime we're referring to a carb, we write CHO because it's shorter than writing carb. And if I want to do carbohydrate education, I do CHO ed. Just makes it easy. It's carb. Science. Nice. I love it. I'm not going to get into the science behind it, but they're all different. There are so many different kinds of carbs. Some have fiber, some do not have fiber. Some have more fiber, some have less fiber. There are different kinds of fibers, 2 different kinds. So first, what's important is that animals, including us, use carbohydrates to maintain our blood sugar between eating. So after you eat, your blood sugar goes up so that it can disperse the sugar to the cells and the tissues in your body so they can use it. And that way our bodies can keep functioning properly. Mm-hmm. And so if we don't use it, then it gets stored. So sometimes it gets stored in your muscles. And if it doesn't get used for long term, it gets stored as fat. And our bodies like to have stores because we never know when we're going to have a starvation episode. Hi, Janet. Oh my goodness, you got your blender. Ooh, that reminds me. Time out.
Let us tell you this story because it's a fun story.
Funny. I think I scared my husband today because I ran outside yelling, guess what? I got my blender to work. Turns out it has a lock feature, and I had accidentally locked it. So I was messing with it today and accidentally unlocked it, and now it works again.
How about that?
Go figure.
Who knew
So
that they lock? If you read the directions, it tells you that they lock.
which is really sad because I usually read the directions. That's okay.
I've never looked at the directions.
So this might not fit in here now that I'm looking at it. So we're making a half recipe also. Do we want to do it in there instead? Or do we want to do...
And then do the fluff in here?
Yeah. I'll rinse it out real quick.
I can do it.
Okay. Either way.
I'm capable.
I know you are. We help each other. Okay. So, I'm so glad, Janet, that you got your Blendjet.
Yes.
We're going to do... So,
Exciting.
if you're doing this recipe, the funny part about this recipe, and I will post it later, it's not meant to be blended, but because we are the Dysphagia Duo, I have always made Gazpacho blended, except for at one restaurant I worked at like 10 years ago. Everything had to be diced super, super, super tiny and then mixed together with tomato juice. So we are going to blend this recipe. So it calls for tomato, which we peeled. You peel it by cutting an X in the top and the bottom, tossing it in some boiling water. After a couple of minutes, the skin starts to loosen. You dump it in ice water, and then you can peel the skin right off. We did the same thing with our peach to remove the skin from our peach. Now, as a dietitian and a holistic dietitian, I don't necessarily like removing the skins because they're good for you. They have fiber, but if you have a swallowing disorder, you can't most likely handle those skins. So we take them off and remove the risk. So with our cucumber, we peeled it, and then I cut it in quarters, and I cut out the seeds. So this is just cucumber. And then I have the red onion soaking in cold water because that's going to remove some of the bite. Because sometimes onion can be very overpowering, and we don't want overpowering onion in our veggie soup. So I'm going to drain this real quick and give it to you. Oh look, a cute little strainer. Okay. So the average person has an 18-hour supply of glycogen. Glycogen is the carbohydrate that's stored in your muscles.
Yep. I'm going to trade it out now.
Okay. So we don't keep the storage in our muscles very long because our muscles are always working, right? We're always walking. Sometimes we're sitting and standing. Sometimes we're running up chairs. We do all kinds of moving, and so we use that storage when we're not eating. If you have it in your muscle, you can use it very, very quickly. If you have it in your fat, it takes a lot longer to use that. You have to burn fat in order to do that. So that's a whole nother thing that we're not going to get into today. If you're curious, send us a direct message. But everything that your body breaks down to raise your blood sugar can happen without you eating. So if your body needs it, it'll start breaking it down into sugar. So people who are diabetic that haven't eaten, they can still have high blood sugar. It happens in all of us, but we just notice it in people that have diabetes because they're checking.
Sure.
So, okay, next.
Where are we putting everything in? So
Yep.
tomatoes.
Yep, tomatoes.
And this is half a recipe, so this is 2 tomatoes.
Yep. Half
Cucumber.
a cup of cucumber. We put in the whole thing because I like cucumber. This is half of a third of a cup of onion. It's actually probably closer to a quarter cup, so you don't have to put all of it in if you don't want to.
Okay.
And then we have a cup of tomato juice. And then in my Blendjet, to make sure that it worked earlier today, I mixed what we're going to call our dressing, or I don't know, it's our flavoring. So salt, pepper. I used honey instead of sugar. So honey, garlic, salt, pepper, and then a little bit of apple cider vinegar and olive oil. And I put it in the Blendjet and I pureed it. So we're going to add...
How much? 1?
1 cup, yes. And so this recipe, because the tomato juice is homemade, is going to have less sodium than if you use store-bought tomato juice. All right, and then I'm going to pour this into your measuring cup to see how much we have, because I don't want to add all of it. So it's half a cup is what it made, and I'm going to pour out half of it. And so we'll add a quarter cup of our apple cider, olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic mixture. All right. So let's blend it and taste it. I'm excited. I hope you're all excited too. How many have made gazpacho before? Say yes or no if you have or haven't. We're curious. Oh, we also have some extra seasoning if you want to add.
Well, since there's no salt in the tomato.
There's no salt in the tomato juice. I did add some salt to this.
Okay.
So that we're gonna have to taste test it.
Okay.
So the other thing about cold soup before she pushes blend is that cold doesn't taste as strongly, so you typically have to add more salt. All right, that's my tip.
Right, this will be loud. If you have earbuds in,
Take them out or turn down your volume.
We're warning you.
Thank you.
I don't want to hurt your ears. Typically, it's a
Let's see how it's doing. So if you need it super smooth, you may need to blend it a little longer. It should have fewer chunks because it doesn't have any of the tomato skins in it, and we took out all the seeds from the cucumber. If you need it super smooth and the seeds from the tomatoes bother you, you may want to get a food mill.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't bring mine to show everybody. I think it needs a little bit more seasoning.
Agree, but it's very yummy.
It's really good flavor. Yeah. So I think we should add a little bit more salt for sure. And then a little bit of the spice to it too, just to wake it up just a touch.
Okay.
And you probably won't need to add too much of the spice because this flavor should carry. All right. So Janet and Karen, this recipe is also very hydrating because it's got the tomato and the cucumber in it. So the onion adds just a little bit of flavor. And so it has very little protein though. This is mostly carbohydrate, but it's good carbohydrate. This is not the easily processed, quickly turned into sugar type like you would get from like a pastry. This is gonna take your body a little bit more time to digest and to turn into sugar, so you won't have a blood sugar spike. Mm-hmm. So this is what we would call high quality carbohydrate.
So the nose, is that to the...
They haven't had gazpacho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Plug your ears.
Buds out.
Plug those ears. So Janet just asked the question, can you add green onions instead? Onions are a no-go for me. You absolutely can. The beauty of gazpacho is that you can literally add any vegetable that you want, and you can substitute anything that you want.
I've had olives in it before.
I believe that. Sounds delicious.
And it is.
So So I have had gazpacho that has bell peppers in it. I've had gazpacho that has had lemon juice and lime juice added to it. I've had what other carrot. I've had it with carrot in it. I mean, you can literally, if you can think of a veggie that you can basically juice, you can add it to your gazpacho.
Oh, this is delightful.
Hit me, sister. Let's do it. So the great part about carbohydrates is dietary fiber. So fiber is a carbohydrate. It's very, very important that you get enough in your diet. We've talked about fiber a number of times. Janet, you would cook the carrots first, or if you have a juicer, you would juice them. But yes, I would cook them first so that they're a little bit soft. They're going to puree beautifully. And that's the other thing. You can cook things for this and then cool them, or you can cook them and puree them and then cool them and mix them in. That is perfect for a hot summer day. All we need to do is chill it, which we're not going to do because we don't have that much time.
This is so good.
Yeah, I think the little bit of spiciness that you added is not enough to bring on
It's
like
not
heat,
spicy,
but it just warms the coolness of the other veggies. Yeah.
This is a really good recipe. I'm keeping this one.
Highly recommend. So yeah, you can add chives or green onions instead of red onion. The recipe I think called for yellow onion. I had a red onion cut up in my fridge from something I made yesterday, so I added the red onion. Like I said, so if you soak your onion or red onion in cold water, it takes away some of the heat from it. And so I typically, anytime I make like cucumber salad or anything that I put raw onion in, I soak it in ice water first.
Unless you like the bite.
Unless you like the bite.
Or unless it's something that you need the bite.
Very hydrating. 1 cup of this has less than 150 calories, 2 grams of protein. I want to say it has 11 grams of carbohydrate, which is not even 1 serving of carbohydrate. But you could eat a 2-cup serving of this and still, you're not even at 300 calories for, and this recipe is not 100% accurate because we used tomato juice that didn't have sodium. It does have olive oil in it, so it's got a good healthy fat in there as well.
And it's pretty smooth. Now, again, if I had taken the seeds out of the tomato, I wouldn't have any.
Correct.
There would be nothing.
Right. Okay. So fiber, really, really important for your digestive system. So digestion of carbohydrates starts in your mouth. So if you take like a cracker, like a saltine cracker, and you put it in your mouth and you don't do anything with it, you just put it on your tongue, your mouth is going to water and it's going to produce salivary amylase, which is an enzyme that starts to break down carbs. Your teeth do, the physical work, but the salivary amylase starts to break it down. So if you leave that cracker there long enough, it's going to start to get sweet. Have you ever tried it?
Yes, I used to teach a dysphagia course in the hospitals, and I would make people hold a cracker on their tongue and not chew it, just so that they could see what it felt like.
And it's hard
for people
to do
who
that.
have dysphagia.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to not move. When you don't have dysphagia, it's hard to understand that you're not supposed to go anywhere because that's what's happening to everyone else. So the next step is that it goes down your esophagus and into your stomach, and nothing happens from digestion of carbs in your stomach. It just gets mixed around with everything else. And then it goes into your small intestine, where your small intestine has other enzymes that are leaked into it from your pancreas that hold on, I gotta check my notes because my brain today is not working. It's pancreatic amylase. It's another enzyme that helps further break down carbohydrates. So let's see, Shannon, a food mill separates juice, flesh, and skins all into separate containers. That's awesome. You got yours at the thrift store for $10, but you can find them online for $20. Highly recommend. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's such a fantastic.
So there's a food meal that I have that you churn, mm-hmm. and then I have another one that's electric, and you drop the tomatoes or whatever in it, and it spits out.
I have the old school metal one that you have to turn.
Too. I have that too.
Yeah.
That until when the year that we started that garden, I got way too many tomatoes, so we got an electric one.
You'd have way too much to do by hand. So process in bulk, things go on sale, farmer's market. Yeah, absolutely. I got my food mill at a thrift store in Seattle in like 2006 for like $2. It was, why not? So I'm not going to go over the types of fiber. Just know that it's really important to have fiber in your diet for a lot of reasons. So one of the things that fiber does is it slows down your digestion in your stomach. So those other carbohydrates that maybe aren't so hearty and get broken down really fast and can spike your blood sugar, the fiber slows down how quickly those are processed. And so your blood sugar, instead of going like this, it goes more like this and then back down gradually, which is what you want. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So the bacteria in your intestines, we've talked about gut-brain health a lot, is very, very important because the prebiotics, which are in this lovely glass of Gazpacho, feed your probiotics or your gut bacteria. And in order for you to be healthy, your probiotics need healthy, good food as well. So simple carbs like bread that are already broken down and are easy to digest are not good for your gut bacteria. So we want you to be eating as much real vegetable, fruit, and whole grain as possible. So our goal with Dysphagia Duo is try to show you ways to make that possible when you can't swallow easily. Because we still want you to know that having good gut health can still be achieved. It may be harder, but we can get you there.
But all the more vitally important for you to have that good gut-brain interaction.
Absolutely. So your liver is also very, very important for managing your blood sugar. So if you have low blood sugar, your liver starts making more. It tells your body to make more. We can talk, Karen. We can talk some more. Absolutely. Send us a message and we'll schedule some time, okay?
Yep.
All right. So women, so this is diabetes specific, but I use it at times as well because it helps me. So per meal, women need between 30 and 60 grams of carbs. Men need between 45 and 75 grams of carbs per meal. This is assuming 3 meals a day. Now, if you want to be more on the low carb end, I would say aim for 45% of your calories a day to be carb. And you want to make sure a lot of those are high in fiber. So I found these at the grocery store today, and we're gonna do this fluff, and then we actually did some overnight oats that are peanut butter and jelly flavored, and we're gonna see how smooth we can get them. They have not been cooked because I'm curious to see how smooth we can get them real quick. But at the grocery store today, I stopped to get a cucumber, and I got these Bolt House Farms. Now these are 100% fruit juice smoothies. I know some of you may have seen these before. They're in the refrigerated section. It says 1 serving is a whole container. So this has 280 calories. It's blue goodness. So it's got apple, banana, blueberry, lemon juice, blackcurrant juice, blackberry, a bunch of other things, okay? This has 9 grams of fiber in the bottle, which is absolutely incredible. I'm not going to be able to see it. Sorry, guys. 9 grams of fiber, which is so incredible. So what you want to do is you want to take your total carb and you want to subtract the fiber in it to get your net carbs. So if you're aiming for 60 grams of carbs per meal, you want to figure out how much fiber is in your meal and subtract the fiber from your total carbs. So this mango one has 61 grams of carbs and 4 grams of sugar. So I would say this has 57 grams of net carbs. Whereas this one is much higher in carb. It's got 71 grams with 9 grams of fiber. That would be what, 62 grams? I can almost subtract in my head. Okay, so just an example there. So when you're buying things, look for things that are higher in fiber. And if you can find ones that are lower in carbohydrate, that's what you want to aim for. Okay, so I'm gonna start on the peach fluff. Do you wanna
do the peach fluff in this?
Yeah, let's do it.
We can do the overnight oats in that one.
Okay, I'll trade you. So what we're gonna do, go ahead and put this on here, because I'm gonna try to measure out.
Put it so that I can see.
Oh yeah, so we have a scale. If you don't have a scale, highly recommend. You can get them on Amazon. I think on my blog that I need to post a resources page on our website for a scale, because super, super, super helpful to have a scale, especially for a recipe like this that is written in grams. And here in the US,
tear the?
so I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna do just like this.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And we're gonna go. And we're gonna put our 200 grams of peach into this bowl. So this was one full large peach with the skin and the pit removed. Oh, it smells so good.
Perfect.
209, that's okay. And then we're gonna do half a cup of our milk of choice, which today is oat milk. Choose yours. Yep, you can get them for 10-ish bucks on Amazon. Highly, highly recommend. So you can use oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, whatever you want to use here.
You said half a cup?
Half a cup, yes. And then I'm going to throw these oats in my blend jet that now works here. We're going to see what happens. Okay. Okay, so now we're just gonna pour that in there and we're just gonna let it blend until it's completely
smooth.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Sorry
guys.
Today?
I'm having a little aphasia today.
With that.
Turns out I know a good speech therapist. Yeah.
This big bowl blends very nicely.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. So then the recipe calls for a serving of protein, and I have unflavored here. So the original recipe called for strawberries and strawberry protein. I have unflavored protein. You could use vanilla with this as well. I'm gonna dump it right in there. And then I'm gonna use a teaspoon of xanthan gum. I don't know how crazy this is gonna get. It might get like super fluffy. We might have a situation on our hands. We're gonna find out. It's gonna be very exciting. All right.
All this blending going on here.
I know. Uh-oh. Did I break it again? No, I just got too thick. Just got too thick.
What's going on here?
It got super fluffy from the xanthan gum.
Fluff.
It's fluff. All right. Well, I meant to do our soup in our teacups, but I
think I'm stuck too.
Okay, just tilt it a little bit. Yours probably just got too thick. Okay. So the next time we try this, we might do it in the blender instead. I'm really really excited. This is really weird and cool.
Wow.
Do you want it in a different cup or in your teacup?
Teacup works.
Teacup works. All right. I'm going to blend this one more time because it looks pretty... How's it smell?
It smells like dough.
It smells like dough, which sort of makes sense because xanthan gum is what they use in gluten-free baking to get the rise so that it's similar. Oh, it's going to be so weird. I'm so excited. Okay, so if you don't get enough carbs, your body will start to break down your fat and then your muscle stores. It goes with fat first. All right. So it's a very weird looking texture. It sort of feels like a marshmallow.
It does, but I think it needed the flavored
Protein powder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does need flavored protein powder.
Because there's not much else to flavor it in there.
Just that peach. Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little honey.
I'd say let's throw some mango in there, but... So next time maybe we can add a little bit of juice, or honey would be good too. Yeah, I like that idea. All right, so your body always wants to stay in balance. So when you get hungry and you eat carbs, it wants you to eat more carbs because they're easy to digest. So if you start your day with protein and a little bit of carb, you're gonna feel fuller longer, and then you're not gonna feel the need to snack as much. Because cravings happen up here, not here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's so weird. It's definitely fluffy.
It's fluff, all right.
Okay. So the peach is a good carbohydrate. So xanthan gum has literally no nutrition in it at all. And then so we get also whatever was in the oat milk. And typically there's not a ton of fiber. Oh, that one is pretty good. That one's got 3 grams per cup. That's pretty good. Okay. So this doesn't look completely smooth, but it's
smoother.
Yeah. It needs to be blended, I think, multiple times. The flavor's pretty good. It's got peanut butter powder, apple butter, a little bit extra cinnamon, and then milk and oats. So I think if you have a high-powered blender like a Vitamix, the Ninja might even do it some justice too. Overnight oats, if you can handle a little bit of texture, is probably a really good option. I added the peanut butter powder because it adds extra protein as well.
True.
But I get the good fiber from the oats. Oats are another good source of prebiotic to feed your probiotics.
Your gut biome.
Your gut biome, yes. So the other reason we need carbs is because they're full of vitamins and minerals. All your B vitamins, vitamin C, potassium, sodium, magnesium, etc. You need vitamins and minerals in order to stay healthy. So a lot of our clients, one of the first things I tell them, get on a multivitamin. Because if you're not eating well because you just can't get food in, you need to sustain your body with extra vitamins and minerals. And if you're not getting good carbs in, you're going to be deficient in B vitamins. So I take a B complex vitamin. I don't always take it every day because I forget sometimes, but I try. So I highly recommend, if you need a liquid, there are some high quality liquid multivitamins out there as well. So that's all I got.
We made a lot of stuff here today.
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
The gazpacho
Me
for
too.
sure. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things anyway, but this recipe is really good.
This recipe is really good. I'm not a fan of this
That-
fluff.
That doesn't surprise me. actually, because you don't like texture of certain. This reminds me of cooked fruit. Yeah.
Kind of weird.
The first bite I took, I was like, oh, she's gonna like, she's not gonna like this. That's funny. Janet, Mary Ruth's, and then there's another brand called, I used to have a picture of it, Alive, I think. It's in a yellow bottle.
Yeah.
Mary Ruth's and Alive are both really good. You'll need to know that they don't taste great. Even though they're flavored, they don't taste great. So you're going to want to mix them in juice or something similar.
Juice like shot.
Yeah.
You don't want a whole glass of it because then you have a whole glass of juice then to have to.
So yeah, I would just get a small glass, pour a little bit of juice, and then your liquid multivitamin in there. Yeah. See, I'll eat this, but it definitely needs the flavored protein. Because you can taste the unflavored protein in it.
I think that vanilla flavored protein would be good.
Mm-hmm. A good quality vanilla. Yeah.
Vanilla. There's some out there right now that's vanilla cream or vanilla ice cream. Mm-hmm. I know that Rule 1 has a vanilla ice cream flavor protein powder.
And the Rule 1's, the one you've had me try is amazing. So, okay, cool. So, Passion for Life, liquid vitamins, yes, Karen, and I've heard you. Janet, I'm gonna do a little bit of digging on Amazon. Can you direct message us or email us your zip code in Canada so I can look up
what's
available to you, and I'll see what we can find for you, please.
Chewable. It's an option. Sometimes that texture, but that's a good idea too. Yeah,
a lot of our clients haven't been able to tolerate chewable, so we go straight to liquid. If you can tolerate chewable, the children's ones, are good to go. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for putting up with my inability to speak.
And at the beginning of this live broadcast, we talked about this fall, we are switching where we will be doing our lives from. So our lives will be coming from our group, which is Dysphagia Support for Nutrition and Swallowing. If you would like to continue to follow us, we would ask you to join our group. It's a Facebook group.
It's free.
But that's where we will be continuing through. Now, we will always upload to our YouTube channel, but it would not be live.
Right. And not everyone follows on YouTube. People are typically one or the other. So we just want to make sure we can offer you as much value as possible. So yeah, join us in the group. Join the group if you haven't already. We're so happy you're here. And next week, I'm going to talk about fat. And so we're going to come up with some fun, healthy, fat-filled recipes. Yes, Shannon, we can. You got it. Absolutely. We're going to pin it to the top of the page. So, yes.
We will.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
See you next week. Have a great week. And stay cool. I don't know where you are, but it is...
Yep.
Oh, the temperature's dropping. It's 96 degrees now.
Be safe, everyone. Be safe.